because you lack the self-confidence or the self-belief, or you have self-doubt, you uh, uh, lose a lot of time in your life. When I first came back to Nigeria in 2008, after I had spent some time abroad, immediately I landed, I registered a company, I knew what I wanted to do. I started going to door. My first contract that I got, I walked into this director's office in Nigerian Prison Service. I presented, I introduced myself. He didn't know me from Adam. I introduced myself. I put together that this is what I wanted to do. It was a alarm padlock.
Welcome back to Crush Your Goals podcast. I'm your host, Onyekachi Charles Onyeukwu, founder, CEO, Donosco Media. And with me today is an outstanding project manager and the president of the prestigious Rotary Club of Garki, Abuja. I'll let her introduce herself.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Irene Okoeguale. I'm CEO of Black and Gold Systems Limited. I'm a project manager and implementation specialist with a background in computer systems engineering. I am currently the president of the Rotary Club of Garki.
As a project manager, what is one mistake you see people do when they are trying to bring a project from book to reality?
I think, first of all, in order to put together a project, you have to have a good concept note. You have to know exactly what it is that you want to do in order to start planning. You cannot plan if you don't have an idea of the concept or the visuals of what you're trying to achieve. So most of the time, people have good ideas, but they haven't thought about how exactly or what the actual outcome of that idea is that they want to achieve, but they go ahead and they start anyway. It's good to have a good concept note. It's good to also plan, and it's good to have the right people in place before you start your project.
Wow, that's interesting. So, what's your personal system for making sure a project does not fail?
People. As a project manager, you're not a subject matter expert. A good project manager can project manage any project in any area or field or study. But what makes you great at what you do is knowing how to manage people, how to bring the right people together to achieve the right outcome, how to bring people who are the deciding factor in terms of financing, in terms of subject matter experts. Those are who are the much needed components in achieving a successful project. You are there to make sure that all of these different components, you're able to make them flow together in such a way that you achieve success.
Now, can you tell us about an inspiring project that you've nurtured from idea to reality?
An inspiring project. Oh, there are a few. um, but I would say this is personal to me because it taught me so many lessons. I come from a background of IT. I studied computer systems engineering at the University of Manchester. So my background is programming. I did project management in university as well. Also, I hold a project management certificate, PMP. I'm a certified project manager. So at one point, I decided to branch into agriculture.
Wow.
And, and so I set up a rice mill, and it was a pet project of mine. Um, and I started out, and that's why I said one mistake some people make. I started out having a great vision. I knew what I wanted to achieve, but not knowing the field in which I was playing in, the area or the subject in the national context of how things are done. So I learned a lot of lessons setting up a rice mill, working with farmers. I was the subject matter expert on my own project that I didn't go and look for.
Project manager.
Yes, I didn't go and look for somebody who was already doing rice. I started out, I planted one quarter hectare of rice, and it went so well. So I just thought, oh, I can do this. So when I went in full-fledged, bought all the machines, the next 2 hectare rice that I did, I'll be 6 hectares.
Wow.
the rice came out very bad. I lost a lot of money, but we thank the Lord. I was able to recoup. I was a period of about 2 years when I didn't do anything. The machine was just sitting down there. I almost lost hope, but I was able to recoup. I was able to get people who knew exactly what they were doing, and now my factory is back up and running. And it's something I'm really proud of in terms of project managing.
That's interesting. So outside your own projects, have you worked on a project?
Oh yes, I have worked in several projects. Most notably, I would say I worked with a company called Ads Technologies. I was the VP project in the company. I was also a consultant for the personalization of voters card.
Wow.
I was there from the beginning.
That's a national project.
That's a national project, yes. So that project was really huge. We worked with several subject matter experts from China to Germany to working with INEC staff in developing how that voters card was going to come about. I was a technical project manager on that one. I helped to make sure that the specifications that were given to us, we achieved that specification, and it's a testament to the fact that we are still using that voters card. Nigeria has gone through several voting systems.
Yeah.
This is the longest standing running,
and it's still working.
And it's still working. Yes.
That's a big one. That is a big one. So now tell us, in the corporate world, you can pay people to work for you, to do the tasks, to do the work, but in the social impact, you have to inspire people. So how are you able to manage and lead people to do good in the world as the president of Rotary Club of Nike?
Oh, it's such a demanding task. It's one of the most important tasks that you can have as a president of a Rotary Club, because a Rotary Club, like is a non-governmental organization. It's all volunteers that came together from different professions to do good in the world. So everybody is a volunteer. So you're not paying anybody to be there.
Collecting their money.
Yes, you're even trying to beg them to bring their money. You have to pet people and their egos. Some people are much older than me and much established in life, but I am the president, and they have to respond to me with that degree of respect. So you have to be able to manage everybody's egos. You have to be humble, and I think what helps me as the president is my background in project management. I have to do this on a regular basis at work. So coming here, the difference is that I have to be more humble in this setting because it's not specific roles. It's roles that people choose to just do because they have the time to do it. I'm the president. I have the responsibility to make sure the club goes and achieves its purpose, whether or not people are ready to work with me or not. So, so there's a balance to it. But, with good temper, this particular month is a month where we celebrate peace and conflict building. Conflict resolution in Rotary, so it's a month to practice what you preach. So when there's conflict, when there's disagreements, the approach is to try to resolve it in an amicable manner, to try and work with people so that we can achieve the good that we set out to do. So patience, is the key, and having peace in mind, and just humility is what helps you. Yes.
All right, so we've come to know now that you are into agriculture.
Yes.
You're a project manager.
Yeah.
You pursue social impact.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one thing also. You're a theologian.
Oh, yes. Yes. I studied theology as a master's degree at the University of York in England. It has been something that has always been dearest to me. As a child, if you had asked me what you want to be when you grow up, I had two things. I either wanted to be a nun, or I wanted to...
That would be a problem.
I also I've always wanted to work with IT. I was fascinated with owning my own business. Owning my own business. I grew into IT at SS3. computers were just beginning to
Come
be
up.
come up. They had cafes, so I did a course in computer science, one small course like that after SSD, and I was able to dissect the whole computer, go into the motherboard, and I was hooked.
Uh,
So that's how I decided, okay, I will do computer
Computer
systems
science. Okay,
engineer.
that's very interesting. Now, you have an idea of where the future is going.
Mhm.
You also, as a theologian, I understand you have interest for child advocacy.
Mhm.
Right. So, what is one critical foundation that should be given to young people that will help them to crush their goals in the future?
Confidence. You know, confidence is the key, and confidence doesn't just grow. You just say have confidence. No, a lot of things go into building a child's confidence. A child that is loved at home, a child that is, taught respect, a child that is able to have participated at a young age in different activities. It's at the time that you're young that you should open them up to different things: football, basketball, tennis, dancing, swimming. They get to play around, they get to choose what they like. Some might not like football, but they need to taste, they need to be able to explore. It builds their confidence. Upbringing, it's very key. You have a short time frame to impress upon a youth the person that they're going to be in future, between the ages of, I would say, zero, meaning from birth
Yeah.
till 10 years old.
Wow.
Even as a child at 2 years, that's the time you let them, when you tell them, don't touch fire, don't touch fire. After a while, you allow them to touch the fire and when it burns. So it's from those little, little things that they grow, not over stifling them, but also knowing that they have boundaries. Discipline is important, but you cannot pour your frustrations on your children. It happens. I'm a mom. I have a son. He's 16 years old.
Okay.
And I know the struggles that parents go through. And one day you are not in the mood. And unfortunately, you take that out. But it's to recognize and to make sure you are building that relationship with openness, and builds the child's confidence. When they are confident in their ideas, they're confident in themselves, they're confident in their religion, they're confident in their culture, they're able to do and move out into the world positively. So confidence is a big thing.
So we all have to look for ways to instill confidence in the younger generation.
Yes.
All right. So tell us, you've delivered value across different sectors. What is that one skill or habit that have helped you through the years to be able to deliver value and crush your goals? Yeah.
This thing that I said, confidence, it's actually self-confidence, self-belief. As a young person, especially as a woman, trying to achieve so much independently, you go into places where they will knock you down. You go into places where they will tell you no. You go into places where they will even expect something from you or you're not ready to give. But if you let that, when you have failures, keep you or stop you from achieving your goals because you lack the self-confidence or the self-belief, or you have self-doubt, you lose you lose a lot of time in your life. Have that self-belief, have that self-confidence, go into your goals. No matter how many times they tell you no, at some point you will get a yes. So keep pushing, keep going, keep believing in yourself, and you will, it's a law of the universe. You will get to your destiny.
What is your one advice for young professionals, young people out there who are looking to crush their goals? Some of them might look at it and it might overwhelm them. But what is that one advice that you have for them to be able to go on and start doing today to be able to crush their goals?
Start small. Rome was not built in a day. A house is not built overnight. It takes brick by brick by brick. When I first came back to Nigeria in 2008, after I had spent some time abroad, immediately I landed, I registered a company. I knew what I wanted to do. I started going to door. My first contract that I got, I walked into this director's office in Nigerian Prison Service. I presented, I introduced myself. He didn't know me from Adam. I introduced myself. I put together that this is what I wanted to do. It was a alarm padlock, you know. That first contract, I did not get it. They stole the idea. They gave it out to somebody else, but I kept pushing. The way I kept pushing, the man took pity on me and gave me 70,000 naira, sorry, 350,000 naira contract for dog supply medicine. To tell you how, because I kept going. And when I found out that the thing came out and they gave it to somebody else, I went to meet the man. Like, oh no, so he pitied me. But the next year, when the contract came out again, I got it. And the year after that, I got it before somebody else. That's the way of the world in contracts. So if I had stopped, or if I had not, continued the drive, so it's like that. Just keep pushing. Sometimes you have an idea, you don't have the means to reach this idea, but you have things that you can do to start developing the idea. You have time to work on your business plan. A business plan, some people don't know the value. A business plan you can take into a bank to even get a loan. You can take into it's easy to ask for money from your brother and say, oh, bros, I want to open a fish farm. But compared to when you go and meet your brother and say, see the business plan for this fish farm. See, if we do it like this, in 3 months, this is how much you're making. He will know that you have put the thought into it. And he too can see the value, because then he has seen that, oh, okay, he doesn't know anything about fishman. He's just looking at this, his young brother looking for money. But when he sees that you have put the idea and your thought into place, you can start designing your logo. You can start, all of those things is like putting the idea, sorry about that, into the universe.
Yeah.
And the universe works with you to help your idea become a reality. So all those small, small things, it can take you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Some people have started ideas, it's 10 years later. They've just been developing it small, small, small until they reach the goal.
Yeah.
So start your idea, no matter. And now we live in an age of technology. Social media is out there. Some people don't need other people. You can just put your thing out there, and somebody, might come across it, or you just start. But just start. Don't wait. Just start. Just start. When I first moved back to Nigeria, there are a lot of times I meet people with good ideas, and they'll say, if you don't have connection, you will not get it. They will just steal your idea. That's, you don't allow that to stop you. Like I said, I just walked in. And so many times I do it. I have that confidence. I just walk in. It's a public office. They are there to serve you. You are allowed to go in there and say you're waiting to see the director, so and so. When you go and see the director, so and so, have something good enough to present, so that you don't look, you will not go and say, this is, sorry, sir, I just, if it's 5 minutes, it might tell you, go and meet. But when they see,
when they see that you're prepared.
Yes, it's a different approach.
Yeah.
So just start. Be sure of your idea, be sure of what you need, and go out there and look for the little things that you can do to build your idea. In the meantime, don't be afraid to be working. All my life I have worked. I started working at 16. It's different because I was in the UK. In Nigeria, maybe can be a little bit different. But my son, I encourage him too. He had his first job was at 13. He was helping somebody walk dog, and they pay him 2,000 naira. So start. You can do things. Don't be too small to do job. You need money. It's only in Nigeria. Everybody wants to be a big boy. My first job, I was knocking on people's doors selling window for one company. I didn't even get paid. You get paid if people buy the window. Yeah. So that was my first one. Before I started working at Pizza Hut, then I started working for Barclaycard, which is a bank, So in all of these places I have worked, I got different ideas. Yeah, different experience. I knew how to deal with traumatic people. I grew the experience. It's not easy to go and knock on somebody's door and say, yes, I'm here to sell you something. It helps build your experience. So that's what I said as a child. My dad, my mom, they were nice that I was able to experience so many things that helped me build my confidence, exposed me to different ways of life, different ways of thinking. So develop your mind. It's really important. Read books, know how other people think. Don't just focus on just Nigerian things. you know, and, you know, social media and Twitter and all these things. Read books, think far, think big. Actually think big, and your dreams will come true.
Wow, you've heard it. You've heard it from our United President. All right, so if there's something I'm going on with today is that we need to instill confidence in the next generation, right? And then you as a person, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Don't give up. We heard her story before she came back to Nigeria. Immediately she came back, people were telling her that if you don't know people, you won't get anything. They will see her idea. They did see her idea, but she continued persevering, and finally she got it. And you can see she's someone who has managed the Nigerian Voters Card project, right? So she has done a lot for herself and she's still doing. So as a person seeing this video, don't give up, believe in yourself and keep working.